What it do, Grizz Nation? It's your boy Evan Hayes, the co-host of the No Bluffing Podcast, and I'm back with another post-game bounce. As I will be reviewing last night's game. It's the Memphis Grizzlies took on the LA Clippers. I'll be giving my positives, my negatives, and my overall insights on the game. It's been a while since I've done a post-game bounce. I've been dealing with some things, but I'm back. I'm glad I'm here talking to y'all about a game. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about a win, but we will get into that. First, quick little rundown. Last night, Memphis lost last night's game 128-114 to push their record to 36-18 going to the All-Star break and cements them going to the All-Star break is second in the Western Conference. Game high score for the Grizzlies was Desmond Bane with 23 points. Jalen Wells had 18 points. Gigi Jackson 15 points. Luke Kennard 12. Jaren Jackson Jr. had an off night with only 13 points. He saw a lot of double teams. Probably what he's going to see a lot in the playoffs, but he had an off night. And Santiago Adama rounded out key contributors with 14. On the Clippers side, Kawhi Leonard was the game high scorer with 25 points. James Harden and Norman Powell had 18 points apiece. Ivica Zubac had 12 points and a 13 rebound double-double. Amir Coffey off the bench had 15 points, and Chris Dunn had 14 points and a blistering 5 steals. We will get into that later. Ultimately, what did the Grizzlies in this game was the turnovers, and a lot of them, the lack of offensive ball movement, and honestly, just tired legs going to All-Star break. I have to mention first, as I mentioned, if you probably noticed when I did the run game, Ja Morant and Vince Williams Jr. did not play this game. They were both dealing with some left and right knee soreness. Vince Williams, this is a second night on a back-to-back. The Grizzlies didn't want to push him out there. You know, he's still trying to ramp up and getting back into his regular groove of playing. He didn't play last night's game. Of course, Ja Morant, he took a kind of nasty spill last night, down for a loose ball. Well, the game before, down for a loose ball with Devin Booker. The Grizzlies didn't want to risk hurting that anymore. Just rest him, going to the All-Star break, so he did not suit up for last night's game. Without all that, the Grizzlies still did not play a great basketball game. This game was kind of weird. The Grizzlies did not score for the first 2 minutes of the game, but they went on an 11-0 run to propel them ahead of the Clippers by 11 points in the first half. But in the first quarter, but in the second and third quarter, they were overall outscored 74 to 45 points, which led the lead to getting as high as 23 at one point. Kind of blew the game over, and the game was kind of lost from there. The reason why? Turnovers. The Grizzlies had 21 turnovers on the night, giving up 41 points off a turnover, which is actually a franchise record. Last time they played the Clippers, they gave up 31 points of turnovers. The Clippers going into this game was the number 2 defense in the league. We know they are a great defensive team. They force you to take shots you don't want to take. They force you to dribble into areas that you don't want to go to, but still, 41 points off of turnovers is terrible. In relation to that, Grizzlies only had 24 assists. A 24 assist to 21 turnover ratio is not a recipe for success. Pete Pranica said during the stream that normally the Grizzlies assist on around 65% of their buckets. If my stats correct, they only had 24 assists on 44 buckets, which is around 54%, which is way under their average. The offense did not look good, especially in the second and third quarter. It wasn't a lot of ball movement. Guys were dribbling the ball off their feet. Guys were chucking up ill-advised shots. The offense didn't have a lot of rhythm and flow to it like we've seen the game before against Phoenix, ever seen this whole season. Some of that can be equated to some tired legs. Of course, Ja Morant not being in the lineup, Vince Williams, 2 ball handlers and playmakers, but still very inexcusable. And these are the games you want to win. Going to the All-Star break, unfortunately, didn't get it done. But, things happen. Also have to put on the hot shooting, just kind of wavering off, as I mentioned before. Very hot shooting in the first quarter. Maybe those tired legs kind of got the team in the second, third quarter, and the energy just kind of dipped. The Clippers were running up and down the floor. They were getting offensive rebounds. Just the physicality and the energy just seemed to be way different in the second and third quarter, and that led to the loss of the Grizzlies. But I also want to quickly point at just what this game kind of means going to the All-Star break. The Grizzlies are the second team in the West right now. We've had a tumultuous season coming to injuries, but we seem to get pretty healthy right now. But this is a Clippers team where it's a good chance we may see them again in the playoffs. Right now, the Clippers are the 6th seed. Right now, the Grizzlies, even though they're the 2nd seed, they're only half a game behind Denver Nuggets ahead of the Denver Nuggets for that spot. Denver's on an 8-game win streak. They're getting hot at the right time. If we keep dropping these games here and Denver overtakes us, this is a team that you are likely gonna run into. And I'm not saying I'm too worried about the Clippers, but you want to put a better showing on the floor, even though your key guys are out, against a team that you may see down the stretch. We've talked about extensively this season how our record against teams over 500 in the West isn't that good. And obviously, like I said, Ja Morant and Vince Williams are out. But you want to show a better showing, especially on the offensive end of the floor, where you just couldn't get any flow. No matter who's in the lineup, you have to be able to take care of the basketball. 21 turnovers, terrible. You can't do anything about it. You still have Scottie Pippen, you still have Desmond Bain, you still have Luke Kennard, you still have ball handler, playmakers that should be able to take care of the ball better. And if you're going to see this team potentially in April and May, you don't want to have these problems going into the playoffs. I'm not saying this is going to be a problem the whole season, for the rest of the season, but something to keep an eye on. There's 28 games left of the season. After the All-Star break, every game matters. We want to see the team, hopefully, if everyone is healthy, correct the things that we saw this game and games before they want to amend going into the playoffs. Everything matters more. Hopefully, guys are healthy. You can't drop these games here and there, and especially want to play good against your Western Conference counterparts. But that's pretty much all I have to say. I want to see what all of y'all have to say, how we feel about going to All-Star break. I feel pretty good. Personally, there's still some things you have to correct. I didn't see a lot of things I like this game, but going to All-Star break, guys can get healthy. Guys can get into the offense a little more. Guys can get into the defense a little bit more and make this championship puzzle come together. But that's all I have. Please follow everyone on the Bluff City Media Network. Follow me on Twitter at E11Hayes. That's all I have. I'll see y'all again for another post game back soon. And as always, go Grizz.